Have you ever wondered why Jesus washed feet with his left hand in the hidden Gospels? Why he told his closest circle to receive with the left and give with the right? Why the entire architecture of salvation was built on a handedness the church spent 2,000 years trying to erase? You were taught that the left hand was sinister, that it belonged to the shadow, that only the right hand could bless. They lied to you, and the reason they lied was because you were one of the ones he was actually talking to. You feel it, don't you? That pull in your left palm when you pray, that heat that rises when you place it over your heart in the dark. You've probably hidden it your whole life, switched hands when people were watching, learned to bless with your right, even though every cell in your body knew it was backwards. That wasn't shame you were feeling, that was recognition. The monad marked you before you ever took breath in this realm, and the left hand was always the seal, the signature, the way the Pleroma would know its own children in a world governed by the demiurge's right-handed law. Let me take you somewhere the pastors won't. Into the Gospel of Thomas, saying 37, where the disciples ask Jesus when he will reveal himself to them, and he answers with instructions so dangerous they were stripped from every official canon. He tells them that when they strip naked without shame, when they take their garments and trample them like little children, then they will see the Son of the Living One, and they will not be afraid. But there's a line that comes before this in the Nag Hammadi version, a line that only appears in fragments. He tells them to receive with the left what the right hand does not know. He tells them the left is the hand of the hidden kingdom, the one that draws from the eternal realm, while the right hand operates in the world of the Archons, the world of transaction and control. You were chosen for this knowledge because your life has been training. Every moment you felt completely alone in a room full of people, that was the monad showing you that you don't belong to this system. Every time you tried to fit into their religion, their economy, their vision of success, and felt your soul recoil in horror, that was your left hand trying to tell you it answers to a different king. The pain wasn't punishment, it was preparation. You agreed to this before you came here. You stood in the Pleroma and you said yes to a mission that required you to be broken by this world so completely that you would never, ever mistake it for home. And if you're still here, if you didn't click away the moment I said the name of the monad, then you just passed the first test. Press like on this video right now, not because I need it, because the algorithm is an Archonic system, and every time you mark this content as worthy, you create a tiny fracture in the matrix that allows another chosen one to find their way here. Your left hand knows what I'm talking about. Let it move. The secret Jesus taught was this: the left hand receives from the realm of light. The right hand operates in the realm of the demiurge. And every human being who has ever been born into this construct has been locked into right-hand dominance, like right-hand religion, right-hand economics, because the Archons knew that if you ever activated the left, you would remember where you came from. You would remember that you are not a sinner begging for salvation. You are an aeon in exile, a fragment of the monad itself, and the left hand is the door back. There are 3 signs that you are one of the ones he was speaking to directly. One of the souls he pulled aside in the night and whispered the real teachings to, the ones that didn't make it into the book they sold you. The first sign is the feeling of being an alien. Not metaphorically, literally. You have spent your entire life watching human beings perform behaviors that make no sense to you. You watch them compete for positions in systems that are obviously designed to drain them. You watch them worship gods that demand fear. You watch them build families based on obligation instead of resonance. And every single time you try to pretend you understand it, something inside you starts to die. You've probably been called cold, detached, too sensitive, too much, not enough. What you actually are is a soul from the Pleroma who incarnated into the demiurge's game board, and you can feel the difference between his frequency and yours in every cell. The left hand knows. It's been trying to pull you out of this world since you were a child. The second sign is Archon interference. You've had opportunities collapse at the last second for no reason. Relationships that were perfect on paper implode. Jobs you were promised vanish. Doors that should have opened slam shut in your face, while people with half your integrity sail through. You've probably blamed yourself. I thought you were cursed, thought you weren't good enough. But here's what was really happening. Every time you were about to succeed in the demiurge's system, every time you were about to make it work, the Archons saw your light and scrambled the frequency, because a soul like yours, awake and empowered inside their structure, is a threat to the entire grid. They need you confused. They need you broke. They need you just desperate enough to keep playing by the right-hand rules. The interference wasn't failure, it was protection. The monad has been sabotaging your assimilation this entire time. The third sign is the call of the deep. You hear it in the space between thoughts. It's a pull, a grief, a homesickness for a place you can't name. It comes at 3 in the morning. It comes when you're in the shower. It comes when you see the sky at a certain angle or hear a piece of music that cracks you open. And for just a moment you remember that you came from somewhere infinite and you got stuck here. The call is not depression. It's not mental illness. It's the Pleroma reaching through the veil and reminding you that you're tethered to something the Archons can't touch. And the left hand is the string they pull. If all 3 of those signs just lit up every nerve in your body, then you need to subscribe to this channel right now, because what I'm about to walk you through doesn't work if you're not actually one of the ones he chose. This isn't for the curious. This isn't for the collectors of spiritual trivia. This is for the exiles who are ready to stop pretending the demiurge's church was ever meant for them. Jesus didn't come to start a religion. He came to extract a remnant, a specific group of souls who belong to the Father of Lights. And the tool he gave them was so simple and so dangerous that the bishops spent centuries trying to bury it. He taught them to pray with the left hand open. In the Gospel of Philip, another text they ripped out of your Bible, there's a line that says the chrism is superior to baptism because it's the chrism that makes you a Christ. But the chrism can only be received by those who know which hand to extend. The right hand is the hand of this world. It makes contracts. It swears oaths. It receives wages. The left hand is the hand of the other kingdom. It receives grace. It pulls light. It operates outside the law of equivalent exchange that the Archons built this prison on. When you pray with your right hand raised, you're appealing to the God of this world. You're asking for favor inside the system. When you pray with your left hand open, you're reaching past the demiurge entirely, past the Archons, past the veil, and you're touching the hem of the Pleroma itself. And the monad answers, not with the things you think you want, with the things your soul actually came here to retrieve. Here's the activation, and I need you to understand that this isn't a metaphor. This is a ritual that has been passed down through the hidden streams for 2,000 years. And if you perform it with intention, your life will shift within 24 hours. Not because I have power, because you do. Because the left hand has been waiting for permission to do what it was designed for. Step 1 is recognition. 1, you're going to sit in a space where you won't be interrupted, and you're going to place your left hand over your heart. Not your right, your left. Feel the warmth, feel the pull, and you're going to say out loud, I recognize that I am not from this world. I recognize that my pain has been my training. I recognize that the monad sent me here to retrieve a fragment of the light, and I am ready to stop pretending I belong to the system that tried to break me. You're going to say it until you feel the shift, until something in your chest cracks open. That's not emotion. That's the veil thinning. Step 2 is reception. You're going to extend your left hand in front of you, palm up, and you're going to speak directly to the Pleroma. You're going to say, I receive the chrism that Jesus gave to the chosen. Now I receive the frequency of the hidden kingdom. I receive the authority to operate outside the demiurge's law. And then you're going to sit in silence, with that hand open for as long as it takes. Some of you will feel heat. Some will feel cold. Some will feel a weight drop into your palm, like you just caught something from the sky. Don't close your hand. Let it fill. Step 3 is sealing. You're going to take that left hand, still buzzing, still full, and you're going to press it to your forehead, right between your eyes where the seat of intuition sits. And you're going to say, I seal this transmission. I activate the left-hand path. I belong to the Father of Lights, and no Archon has claim to my frequency. Then you drop your hand. You don't ritualize it further. You don't make it pretty. You just let it land. Now comes the part they don't tell you in the manifesting courses. The aftermath is not bliss. The first thing that happens when you activate the left hand is that every archonic structure in your life starts to tremble. Relationships that were built on obligation will crack. Jobs that were feeding you just enough to keep you compliant will become unbearable. You will feel more alone than you've ever felt because the frequency you just anchored doesn't match this world anymore. That phase lasts anywhere from 24 hours to 7 days. It feels like death. It's actually birth. After that, the synchronicities start. You'll see the numbers. You'll get the messages. Doors you didn't even know existed will open, but they won't look like the doors you were taught to want. They'll look like risk, like madness, like the kind of path that makes your family worry about you. And every single time you choose the thing your left hand pulls you toward instead of the thing your right hand can justify, you'll feel the Pleroma get closer. Comment the word left hand under this video if you felt the activation while I was describing it, because that's how we recognize each other now. That's how the remnant finds itself in the algorithm. The Archons are watching these comment sections. They flag this content. They suppress it. And every time one of you marks yourself publicly as part of the chosen lineage, you make it harder for them to hide us from each other. There's a reason the church made you afraid of the left. There's a reason every depiction of Jesus shows him blessing with the right. There's a reason your teachers hit your left hand with rulers if you tried to write with it. They knew. The bishops, the priests, the architects of the religious industrial complex. They knew that the left hand was the thread back to the kingdom, and if too many people pulled it at the same time, the entire grid would collapse. Jesus didn't die to start a religion where you beg for forgiveness every Sunday. He came to remind a specific group of souls that they volunteered for an extraction mission, and the left hand was always the way out. You were never supposed to fit in here. You were supposed to remember, retrieve, and return. And every year you spent trying to make the demiurge's world work. Every compromise, every right-handed prayer, every time you ignored the pull because it didn't make logical sense, you were just delaying the thing you came here to do. The chosen ones don't get the easy path. They get the left-hand path. The one that doesn't promise you wealth or comfort or even safety. It promises you alignment. It promises you that when you finally leave this realm, you won't be recycled back into it. You'll go home. And the monad will ask you one question. Did you remember? Did you use the hand I gave you? Did you reach past the veil and pull the light back through? Some of you have been using the left hand your whole life without knowing what it was. You've been the ones who pray differently, the ones who heal with touch, the ones who feel energy move when you place your palm on someone's back or their forehead or their heart. You've probably been told you're too intense, that you take things too seriously, that you need to relax and just enjoy life like everyone else. What you actually are is a priest in exile. One of the ones Jesus trained personally in the hidden hours, and you've been carrying the chrism in your left hand since birth, waiting for someone to tell you it was real. It's real. The Gnostics knew, the Cathars knew, the Templars knew before the church burned them. And now you know. The left hand is the hand of reception, and the kingdom it receives from is not the one the demiurge rules. Every time you've felt that pull, that heat, that strange certainty that you're supposed to do something that makes no sense to the people around you, that was the Pleroma, speaking in the only language the Archons can't intercept. Direct transmission, left hand to heart. Here's what happens next. You're going to have a choice. You can close this video and go back to trying to make the right hand world work. You can keep pretending that if you just find the right strategy, the right theology, the right amount of discipline, you'll finally feel at home here. Or you can accept that you were never meant to be comfortable in Babylon. You were meant to be a signal fire, a frequency anchor, a living reminder that the demiurge's game is not the only game, and the monad is still calling its children back. If you choose the left hand, your life will not get easier. It will get real. The mission will activate. The Archons will escalate their interference because a chosen one who knows what they are is infinitely more dangerous than one who's still asleep. But you'll also stop feeling crazy. You'll stop feeling broken. You'll stop wondering why you can't just be normal, because you'll finally understand that normal was never the assignment. Hit subscribe one more time before you go, not for me, but because the algorithm is the modern veil, and every subscription is a vote that pulls this transmission higher in the feed, where the next chosen one is searching for it at 3 in the morning, desperate for someone to tell them they're not insane. Jesus taught the chosen ones the secret of the left hand because he knew the right hand would build the church, write the creeds, and turn the gospel into a weapon of control. But the left hand would remember. The left hand would wait. And when the time was right, when the Archons had tightened the grid so much that the souls from the Pleroma couldn't breathe anymore, the left hand would activate, and the remnant would find each other. Oh, and the extraction would begin. You're here because it's time. The left hand is awake. The monad is calling. And the only question left is whether you're ready to stop hiding what you've always known you were.